Hello and welcome to a redux of Turn 2 of GMT's Fields of Fire 2 by Ben Hull, the first mission on the Peleliu, the initial assault. Previous videos have taken us up to Turn 4, and in fact I had done up to Turn 6, but I hadn't published it yet. However, I got an interesting comment from one of my listeners, watchers, whatever you call, Brian. Very big hat tip to him, by saying actually I had the wave structure of the landings completely wrong. He's completely right. I'm not sure what the hell I was doing, but I think I'd read through it and then kind of translated into in the sequence I'd done before. The issue was that I was bringing in each wave, one on turn 1, one on turn 2, one on turn 3 and one on turn 4, and that was it. Actually, that's not how it works. Turn 1 and turn 2 was correct. However, the third wave actually only comes in to the surf zone on turn 5, and the fourth wave on turn 6. So there's turns 1 and 2 entries and turn 5 and 6 entries, not turns 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I was being very unfair on the Japanese opponent, and yeah, getting a lot more troops earlier than I should have. So I've had a look at it and tried to wind it back, and I mean I could have wound it back to say turn 3 when I was bringing them on, bringing on the first wave, but I actually want to go back to turn 2 because given that fact, and the fact we only have 10 turns to actually get the objective, we kind of really need to change the composition of the contents of the LVTs in each of the waves. Before I had just a squad coming in on the first wave, another squad on the second wave. It was the line squads of each platoon, and then the veteran ones. And that's really not be adequate because I didn't have any HQs coming in until wave 3, so that would mean that they'd only really hit the beach really turn 6, which is far too late for them to be useful within 10 turns to actually get to the objectives. So I'd be running pretty much on general initiative for more than half the game, which isn't going to do really, is it? So I've changed the composition and I've wound it back to the start of turn 2, which is really when the firing starts. Turn 1 was just moving stuff onto the board, moving the first LVTs onto the surf zone, and I've gone back into the videos and got back to turn 2, and this is where we are. So, and we're going to run it forward from here. So many apologies for you spending probably an inordinately large amount of your free time watching 2 videos which were incorrect, but hell, you know, nobody's perfect, eh? So we're back to turn 2, and we're back to the initial part of that turn. I'm going to redo, and I haven't done this yet, I'm going to redo the deck and start afresh. I know at the point of turn 2 it wasn't completely fresh, but you know, this will kind of do. It'll have to do. And we'll run forward from here. So for all those who'd seen the lucky shot by the machine gun onto the heavy machine gun in the bunker, and the fact that we didn't get many of the incoming artillery fires hitting the beach, well, you know, we just have to go through it again together, and so do the Marines. So sorry to the Marines as well hitting the beach right now. As it is, I'm going to, because I'm doing turn 2, we've already done the resolution of potential contacts here, and that was very lucky, and so shoot me, I'm going to stick with that. Ha ha ha. But anyway, so what I've done to change the composition is I've added an assault team to the first landings. So for here we have a flamethrower team. Here, in addition to the squad, we have, I think, a demo team, somewhere down here. There we go, demo team. And for the machine guns, which were on the third column, just rebuild this, I've added a bazooka team, I believe. Yeah, which is assigned to the MG platoon there. And over here, another bazooka team was again assigned, this time to third platoon. So as we remember, it's first platoon, second platoon, MG platoon, and third platoon coming in like this. So let's just run on with it. Probably babbled for long enough on the reasons for what I'm doing, but yeah, let's go. So starting with our HQ, we do have an HQ event. The HQ event on the randomizer of 10 is number 1. Okay, number 1 is known as a sit rep, which is annoying because it asks the CO HQ to spend 3 commands reporting back to see what's happening so far. Not a lot to report, let's face it. We're not even at the beach, but if they want to know, they want to know. So we'll have to do that. So as part of the turn, we will spend 3 commands to do that. Now we move on to the command phase and the company HQ. We have contact because we have 1 VOF, so we have the +1 for the veteran status of the COHQ, and the COHQ 2+1 is 3. So let's face it, they have to spend 3, and we got 3, so the HQ gets nothing. And it's on 1, and I'm reluctant to spend too much beyond 1, so the HQ is going to save. Let's just zoom in there so we can see where we are. The COHQ here, and it's on 1, and it's going to stay on 1. So no activations. We'll leave those as that. I'll move the camera over to the commands display so we can do more of the activations. Right, that's a lot better. So COHQ spends no commands to activate anybody, so there are no activations. Move on to the initiative segment. Start with the platoons. So first platoon, and we're now on the second number, the little number. So first platoon is a 2. It's line quality, so it just gets 2. We're not going to really do anything with the HQ, so that first platoon will go up to 6, which is the maximum save for line quality, and that's it. Second platoon, it's green, so it's a -1. It's a wonderful card. We get 3 going down to 2. That big 5 is a hell of a waste. But we have 2 for second platoon. The second platoon is at its maximum already, so there's no need to move it, and there's nothing for them to spend it on. So second platoon is done. Third platoon, who's currently on 2. Again, it's green, so it's a 2 - 1 is a 1. And they will join the second platoon up here at 3, their maximum. MG platoon is on 3. Now, they are veteran. This will be interesting. So we get a 1, and that's +1, so 2. So the MG platoon moves up to 5. Mortar section is green, so we get a 1. -1 is 0, so they don't go anywhere. And finally, our 3 staff HQs, the XO, the gunnery sergeant and the first sergeant, they get 1 each automatically. So they move on to 2, and that is our command phase, with the exception of general initiative, although general initiative is a bit useless for us, because again, we're all in LVTs. Okay, let's draw that card anyway. We'd have got 1 command. Okay, not very useful. So we're back to the board, and then we're down to the Japanese HQ. So on with the Japanese HQ, and here are the LVTs already in the surf, and the ones to come on the second wave to come on this turn. Just to let you know here, I do have some HQs here. The 3 staff HQs are going to come on with the first squads of each platoon, and we will at least be able to use those to do the initial few turns before the other HQs turn up, if they survive, of course. So let's look at for an HQ symbol for the Japanese. No HQ symbol there, so they're all quiet. And there's no activity check because all we've got is a VOF, and we then go on from that into capture and retreat. There's no capture and retreat, so we're on to the vehicles. I should have put the activation markers on the LVTs, of course. Silly me. Let's get those on, and let's do some movement. So the easy ones we'll do first. We shall move these guys to here, and we will unload. So the squad and the assault team are exposed. Let's pick up an exposed marker there. Same again with these guys here. Moved, fired. Likewise over here. Lovely exposed marker. And finally, well, we'll bring these guys in. I'll use my fingers for these. They're quite big stacks. So we need to move this guy, and I've been holding that off for as long as possible. But of course, with the incoming here, when they attempt to leave, there's a reaction fire from incoming. And if you recall from earlier, now we are earlier, the modifier is 0, so it's a +1 for the terrain against incoming. It's a +1 for a moving target for the LVT for a vehicle moving, and then we got a -1 for the incoming VOF marker, and -1 for the defensive value of an LVT. So we're on 0. We're looking at the AT value, and I think we want to be above 6 or more. Oh, that's not good. We have an AT of 0, so a 0 is the worst result, and that will result in, I believe, what's called brewing up. So pretty much the LVT explodes. That means that this entire squad, crew, oh, actually it's the machine gunners, they are all absolutely eliminated. The LVT is wrecked and is burning. So we have one of these markers. Let me just check if anything else occurs. Yep, that's pretty much it. So we also place casualties. So that's an entire, where are we? Yeah. So it's not a squad, that's 3 teams. So that's 3 steps of casualties. Which, luckily enough, we do have, well, unluckily enough, we do have a 3-step casualty marker. So that went a lot worse than the previous go through, but well, there's the breaks. And now we bring in this wave here. Not quite playing ball with the tweezers. And then at the end of the move fired, this stack also gets hit by the incoming. So let's draw that card again. +0 for the modifier. With a 3. 3's not great either. A 3, I believe, is Try to look that up. I think it's a retreat actually. Yep, here we are. A 3 is a retreat for target type V. So this means that although there's no casualties, that unit, that LVT and its passengers are out of this mission. So no machine guns turning up in the first 2 waves. Wow, okay. This is going very, very badly, certainly for the machine guns anyway. Now we've got all the movement done for vehicles. We're now into the combat phase. The first thing we do is to remove that incoming marker. All well and good there. And now we have to do the potential contacts. Some other bright spark who's watching my less than perfect replay of this, playthrough of this, mentioned that we should really look at potential contact A markers before B's before C's, which I think is correct. So rather than randomise the whole 8, we should do 2 lots of 4. So let's look at the A's first. We are no longer under contact, so we are in no contact. So the first A will be automatic, and we just need to randomise which one it is. And it's number 1. It will be this one here. So this potential contact marker we have to draw to see what it is on the randomizer on the 10 line. The 10 line, it's a 3. Let's just check what that is. Okay, and for row 2 on a 3, that is a 1, which is our wonderfully effective this time incoming fire, and that's the mortar fire. So that is replaced with the incoming marker, and it's a -3 to personnel. So as you can see, these guys are going to get hit pretty badly. But now we have contact there, and so we can now draw for the other actually the other 2. This guy has nothing in it. So but that card was all 1s anyway. It was always going to be 1s here. So a 1 and a 2 here. Let's see which one we use first. So on 2 we use number 1, again this guy here. Now we have in contact, we picked 7 cards, if you remember, for an A contact. We look at 7 cards, and let's see if our luck is holding up into our redux of the game, looking for contact or not looking for contact. We have rally. Oh, looky-doo. Never mind. We have contact, and there was just the 1 contact in there, but 1's enough. So here we do have a contact to resolve. So on the 10 randomizer again, we have a 3, and I'm pretty sure that's what we had last time. So it's another mortar incoming. So let's just go and place that. Right, here it comes. And the A contact marker is removed. We're left with this. We have 2 VOFs, so we are now engaged, which means for this card we only pick 5 cards. And here we go, not looking for contact. Cover again. 3 covers. Oh dear. 4 covers and a contact. So again, 1 card dooms us. We need to see what's going to come in here now. So again, on the 10 randomizer, a different number this time, and number 5. Let's have a look at that. Okay, looking on the second row, number 5 is 4 here. That's a new one on us. Let's see what that is. Look at the force packages here, and we're looking for number 4 here, which is spider holes. That is 1 rifle squad in foxholes, and the placement is, whoops, the placement for number 4 is P. That means point blank. It means the same card, and it is not spotted. So we need to spot it before we can do anything about it. So yeah, rifle squad in that card. I'll just sort that out. Right, here we go. So there's our squad. There's small arms fire in foxholes, and they are hidden. And of course they set up a VOF here, which is small arms fire. So let's get that put on. It's all going wonderfully, isn't it? Yeah. It teach me to get the rules wrong the first time and use up all the luck. But there we have it. All these are now set. Interestingly enough, there are now units of both sides on the same card. That actually means that we go to heavily engaged, because that's what it requires. 2 or more VOFs and at least 1 card having both troops on. So there's a kind of silver lining, if you like. This means we have to look and see how many cards we pick for the Bs here, which we need to do on the surf zone. And if we look at the card here, so for Bs, heavily engaged, we only pick 2 cards. So that's something at least. So let's randomize on here to see, again, only 3 actually will use potential contact. So from right to left, sorry, from left to right, a convention, 1, 2 or 3, and we get card 1. So card 1 here, we pick 2 cards out, and let's hope for not a contact. We have a blank and a rally. Great. We get no contact, and we can remove that potential contact. So over here, we randomize again. 1 or a 2. There's 1 again, so it's this one here. 2 cards, and let's see if a contact comes up. Blank, going well so far. 2 blanks, that'll do. Nothing here. So we've hit the beach and pretty much cornered all the fire up on this row. 1 left here, so we don't need to randomize. And again, 2 cards for these. A cover and a cover. Great. So on at least the surf zone, there is no incoming fire. However, that's really because there's loads of incoming fire on the beach itself, and that's what we move to now in the combat phase, is the resolution. We can't do anything about these 2. Also, this is hidden again. We can't do anything about them until they're spotted. So let's resolve these. It doesn't really matter in order. I'll just go left to right because it really isn't that important. So we have the incoming, which is a -3 against these units on -3, -5, +1 for the terrain, so on -4. And if we look through, we have the squad and the assault team. So let's do the assault team, then the squad, and see what happens. We're looking on the -4 of the hit table on the card. -4, which is the maximum, is a hit, and let's see what happens to them. They are line, and their line, they get a C, which is a casualty, so they're taken off the board. With their flamethrower, and a casualty is put in. It's going very well. And for the squad, again on -4. Hopefully they have a bit more staying power. -4 is a hit. And the effect, this is the second squad, so they are line again, so it's the middle. And they get an A. Lovely. that's great. I can work with that. So this squad drops down to 3 steps, but we do get an assault team. However, because it was an effect on them, it was a hit, they are pinned though. Could have been a lot worse. Could have been a lot worse. Over here we have again a squad and a demo team here. And again it's on the same table at -4. So worst table. Let's see, we have squad first, as I actually had it picked up like that. We have a reshuffle. We'll do that after. So the squad, we have a hit, and the result, the squad is line, is C and L. So that's a casualty and a litter team. This means you'll have to take this squad away and replace it with its second squad 2-step unit, and then we will then have a casualty and a litter team. This really isn't going as well as it did the first time, and we need to do the demo team as well, but first, before we do that, we will reshuffle. Right, all reshuffled, and for the -4 to hit. Again, it's a hit again, and they are line for the demo team, and we have CC, so, well, C for them, and again, they are removed, and we are left with a casualty. Wonderful. And over here, at least it's slightly better. We have a small arms fire 0. We have -2 for exposed, and then +1. So it's a -1. A lot better than -4. So again, we have an assault team, which is the bazooka team, and then we have the squad. So the bazooka team first on -1. It's still a hit. And the bazooka team is line. Is an A. So they drop their bazooka and pick up some Tommy guns. Okay, well, at least it's not a casualty. And again, -1 to hit here. -1 is still a hit. Well, of course it is. It's still a pretty bad table. And we are line for that platoon. Right way up. And we get a PL, so paralysed and litter team. Well, at least we haven't got any more casualties. Let me just sort out the paralysed and litter teams and replacing that squad with a two-step version. Right, so here we are. We have the 2-step squad. Still holding on to it, to grim death to its smoke. We have the assault team as well, and we have the litter team and paralysed, which we'll put on the bottom. Try and hide it from view. The disaster that it is. It just shows you how amazingly lucky I was last game, and of course they're all pinned from. And that was just the squad in spider holes, foxholes. Spider holes, I believe, were foxholes with matted vegetation lids over them, so that the Marines would walk past, and then they would lift up the lids and be able to fire at the Marines from behind. That's what I understand spider holes are for. And the great thing, of course, is we still don't know where that fire is coming from. Okay, so that's the end of turn 2, and that's pretty sad, actually. I should have got the waves right first time. We've lost a hell of a lot of Marines here. 3 steps here, and 1 step here and 1 step here. In fact, actually, I just want to check this one. Is that we had the bazooka team and 2 machine gun teams is 3. There's actually the actually the crew of the LVT as well. So there is actually another casualty here. Now this is relevant for being able to load and unload casualties, so it is relevant for the game to have the right number. Okay, so in column 3 we have nobody. We have an exploded LVT, and the other LVT probably saw that happening, and discretion, better part of valor, has decided to leave it for the moment and come back later when everything's a little bit quieter. Something I would completely endorse as well. We have to just sort this space out as well. So they're pinned. We had a casualty in a litter team there. So remove all the move fireds for clean up. Any of the exposed, and all those exposed is turned into pinned markers. So they stay on, of course. Yeah, that's us for the turn. In a pretty sorry state, I suppose. But anyway, let's get on to turn 3, and that'll be the next video, and we'll have soon caught up with where we were in the first set of videos. So thanks for persevering. Sorry about the mistake. Again, a sombrero-sized hat tip to our friend Brian, who pointed this out to me. Thanks again for that, and I'll see you turn 3 video. Bye for now.